Reliving the Extreme.
My name is Bubba Ray Dudley.
I don't need a weapon. My hands are my weapons.
This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are discussing and reviewing the When Worlds Collide show from May 14th, 1994. Your main event, Terry Funk and Arn Anderson against beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sabu. I'm Nate Maxson, your host, and this week what we did something a little different. We actually did record the show live on our Facebook group, which is something we're going to do infrequently when we're talking about big shows or what have you, so that we can get your feedback, see your comments on the shows, or anything you want to ask or anything like that. So stay tuned for that. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, please do join it. It's just Reliving the Extreme right there on Facebook. Check it out. Reliving the Extreme and ECW podcast. And that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to take you to the Facebook Live that we did this past Thursday night, recording our review of ECW When Worlds Collide right here on Reliving the Extreme. We are live on Facebook once again, Reliving the Extreme. Nate Maxson, Aaron Maxson, and Chad Austin here with you to review ECW When Worlds Collide, May 15th, 1994. And if you are watching us live on the Facebook, feel free to comment, ask questions, let us know what you think about, if you've seen When Worlds Collide, what you thought about the show, etc., etc. We're happy to be here. I'm not going to do the intro again. I'll do another one.
Well, don't do that, but explain to the people if they want their name to be seen.
Yes, we're on StreamYard, so if you want your name to be seen, for us to be able to react to your comment by your name, you have to click that you give permission for your name. Otherwise, you're just going to be StreamYard user. So, but that being said,
that's like being Super Destroyer 1 or 2.
Yeah.
No fucking idea who you are.
Until you're unmasked, and then we still have no idea who you are.
Mr. Wrestling number 3?
Was that one? No.
That was Vince Russo, I think.
Bro. All right. When Worlds Collide, May 14th, 1994. Want to preface this by saying apparently the night before the TV title changed, Mikey Whipwreck is the new TV champion in ECW as we go into this show. No longer is it the Pitbull.
That was in my notes. I was like, when they were like, "Oh, Mikey's the new TV champ," I was like, I don't fucking remember that.
It didn't. They filmed it, and then it doesn't air until the next show after this.
Okay.
On TV, which, like I said, I took the bullet and watched that for us because that was a lot of recapping of When Worlds Collide, some promos, and then the Mikey Whipwreck Pitbull highlights of that match where Mikey won the title. So we won't have to watch that next week. We'll probably skip to the next week. But that being said, like I said, May 14th, 1994, When Worlds Collide, the ECW Arena. And
1,500 people. Do you guys think there were 1,500 people there?
What, in Philadelphia? I hope there was.
That's what they said. They said we crammed 1,500 people in this thing.
In Philadelphia or the building?
In the building. In the building. In the ECW Arena.
I thought Joey Styles did a census. He was out that afternoon walking around asking people where you live, what's your name?
oh my God, I can't believe how many senior citizens there are in here.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know. It's astonishing to me because I hear several different numbers because we always thought that the most you could fit in there was 1,200, right? I mean, wasn't that like the going number for the longest time?
I think so. Yeah, something like 11 or 1,200. I
mean, how could ECW / Paul Todd, whatever your sister's ass, fly under the radar, the fire marshal, for so long, yet you have paid security people that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And EMTs, without somebody finding out, you have more than the fire codes allow.
Grease and palms in Philadelphia.
I mean, am I not right? Isn't that? Don't you think that's like a fair question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, where the fuck are you putting these people at? I mean, is there an upstairs?
The guys standing by the fire exit. Yeah.
I mean, Yeah, it's just amazing to me.
The first match on this show out the chute is the Rockin' Rebel with his manager, Jason, the sexiest man alive, against Tommy Dreamer. And I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this match. I thought it was kind of plotting. I wasn't terribly impressed with what I saw here.
I don't know. You want to go, Aaron? Because to me, it's just a Philadelphia staple of early 90s.
Yeah, I just put it's Tommy Dreamer versus the Rockin' Rebel, and it's decent. It was what it was. Joey says that the Rockin' Rebel is the nastiest man in wrestling. That's what he says. They're trying to really put over the fact that the crowd is starting to favor Tommy Dreamer, but it's like 70-30. Like 70% of the people are like, fuck this guy. 30% of them are like, yay. And the 30% are like the 5 women in the crowd and some kids. Like none of the dudes are into Tommy Dreamer at all. And
I disagree. I don't think this is starting at all. I mean, I think Joey Styles. I'm sorry to cut you off, Aaron. I think that Joey Styles is just championing that parade. I don't think it started yet, and I think Paul realized that it's going to take a little bit of work. You know, not like I don't think Tommy deserves it or couldn't do it, but the people just did not give a shit about Tommy Dreamer. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it started there, but I mean, I think we're very, very close, or maybe it was, and I just didn't catch it. You know what I mean? Maybe it's my fault, and I didn't see it.
And I kind of agree. I'm gonna bring up something in a little bit that will kind of tie into this. But during the match, when Rebel hit that spine buster on Dreamer toward the end, do you think he really hurt his knee on that? Like, because he was favoring it, and then they went home pretty quick. Did you guys
Rebel?
catch that? Yeah.
He ain't that good at selling anything, so it had to be. Yeah,
Touche.
If you got him for being a good worker, you'd be shooting an innocent man.
There's also a chant from the ECW crowd of "You both suck."
Yes, I did catch that.
You both suck is what they chant at him. I also this is the first time that I noticed.
Jesus.
I don't even know why this is the first time I noticed it, but I'm like, I understand why somebody was like, "Hey, Tommy, you should put a shirt on."
Oh, the whole man boob thing?
Yeah. It's like you got China tits. Like you look like you're somewhat in shape, but you still have tits. Put a shirt on.
Yeah, that's not a good look. I mean, yeah, I should know.
Same here.
I mean, I won't go into anybody. I won't go into the pool in front of anybody in public, even with a shirt on, because you still got to jump in with a shirt on and come out, and it's even worse because the shirt's
clenching you.
Yeah, because then it's clutching your tits. Yeah,
it's clutching it. But
you
Tommy
get out, and then all of a sudden you can smell what the arch is cooking.
But Tommy was just like, "I'm gonna do suspenders," and somebody's like, "You got muscular tits. Maybe you should put a shirt on."
I thought what they did looked pretty good, though. I mean, I thought the action wasn't bad.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was decent.
It was a good, decent opening match, and like I said, it was just very basic and didn't do anything that was offensive, but didn't do anything that made you go, "Oh god damn, I'm glad I watched that." It was just. I just wrote
that it was a fast count. Awful execution, but a nice angle.
Yeah, Dreamer wins the match with a Thez press, and then they tease a breakup.
God.
They tease
a Thez press.
Yeah, well, that's what they call. That's what Joey called it.
Well, he needs maybe that could be like the grilled cheese press.
The panini, yeah,
yes,
it's the panini,
the flying panini. We don't have Sal Bolomo here anymore. Tommy's Italian. He's throwing 265 pounds of man boob into the air. It's like that's a flying pepperoni.
Panini.
Panini. Oh my god!
And then in the angle everybody wants to see after the match,
people could not kick out of those pepperoni nipples.
In the angle everybody's been waiting to see at the end of this match, as I say sarcastically, Rockin' Rebel and Jason tease a breakup here. Is this the last we're going to see a Rockin' Rebel, Chad? I can't remember.
It's not.
Haven't we been saying this for weeks?
It's not.
I mean, who sticks around longer? Him or Jason?
Or Hunter Q.
Well,
I think
There's no 100Q on this show, pal.
So the next matchup we have here is the new ECW TV champion, Mikey Whipwreck, against 911. Mikey is awesome here. He comes down. He makes sure the title doesn't fit. He looks a little scared and disheveled. And my question to you guys that I was going to say, this ties into what we were talking about with Dreamer. As we've been watching ECW, Paulie has tried to do the get the ECW crowd behind JT Smith. He's tried to do the get the ECW crowd behind Tommy Dreamer. Is Mikey the first guy that the ECW crowd really made their own? You know, this is our guy.
Probably. I mean, Sandman getting there, right? I mean, there's something started there with Sandman. Am I not right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, so you're saying is Mikey the first guy that the ECW crowd knows that's not getting pushed?
Well, the one that they first, like, as Paulie is trying to get, you know, Dreamer or JT or whatever, tell these stories with these guys and get the crowd to really connect to them. It seems to me that Mikey is the first one they really connected to and really said, this is one of our guys, you know, an ECW.
Yeah. And Joey let you know that during commentary, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you know, these people want to get behind this kid, blah blah, you know,
yeah,
all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I guess I would say that's probably accurate. I'll say yeah.
I think the thing with Mikey was it was the first thing that, how do I want to say, like, not that made sense, but like the first, like, Mikey's the first Paul Heyman ECW gimmick, you know, that goes against the grain. You know what I mean? Like not normal storytelling of, okay, like when they were trying to get JT Smith over, he was like the young up and comer and he's scrappy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They figured out quick with Mike. It's like they're gonna make this guy fucking goofy as shit, and he's just gonna fall into fucking.
He's
He's
if
fucking.
He's
like
Eddie
Mr.
Gilbert
Bean
was still
wrestler.
alive. That guy would be the equivalency to Eddie Gilbert's John Gillum. If you know who that is,
Like,
you know who John Gillum is?
Oh yeah, we watched him on here.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I mean that's what he's kind of like, you know. It's supposed to be a joke, a gag, a rib, a ha ha ha, and then it caught fire.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like, Mikey's the first gimmick with that crowd that Paulie did, where we're letting you in on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we're not trying to play you guys dumb. We're all in the same fucking boat on this shit. This is funny, and it's going to be a silly gimmick, and we're all in on it.
Yep, enjoy it, right?
Yeah,
and I do like it. It's fun. Like I said, I just
like every week you're gonna be driving to the fucking ECW arena and being like, "Well, how's Mikey gonna get out of this shit?"
Well, luckily it wasn't every week. Jeez,
every 4 weeks or whatever.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here talking to you today if it was every single.
Like I said, this is Mikey versus 911. Mikey has just won the TV title. Taz costing Pitbull the TV title against Mikey. They say it was the night before. I don't know if it was actually the night before or not, but Paulie gets to the ring with 911. He's mocking Mikey Whipwreck, like pretty much like it's over for you. Mikey gets two choke slams, and then 911 chokeslams Mikey and the referee and gets disqualified. Therefore, Mikey retains the World Television title. This was effective. I liked it.
I mean, 911, just another 911 angle, you know?
Yeah, well, and it got every player here got over the way that player was intended to get over, you know?
So if 911 don't give a shit about being a champion or whatever, what is he in this business for?
Right.
I mean, it was... Oh, hey, mom. Hey, son, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't want to be a champion or anything. I just want to go out there and pick up people and slam them down.
Oh, Philly jacket with my little two here. That's what I want to do.
If I could just be a handler, if I could just be the handler of a sadist from Bombay.
Yeah. I mean, what are you in this business for? And then don't give me that whole pain. Fucking jabroni indie wrestling promo. Pain. Anybody that says like a promo, you know, stinks.
Absolutely.
You, Glenn Osborne.
What year is this? Because don't we have freaking Snuka and Sullivan coming up?
That is the next match on this show.
It was Gordon Soley calling it? Sullivan with a suplex.
Yes, that's right. It is Jimmy Snuka.
The definition on Snuka is remarkable. He gets that from opening coconuts in the Fiji Islands with his head.
With this Hunter Q. Robbins the third. Snuka
There's
and
no
Sullivan.
Hunter Q, right? Too?
Hunter Q is absolutely with Jimmy Snuka in this match. He is still around. They pretty much brawl. This entire match is a brawl between Snuka and Sullivan, with Snuka doing as little as he possibly can.
What do you think? Sullivan was carrying that match?
If anybody was, it had to be him.
Anybody, please. They didn't do anything.
It says Sullivan bludgeons Snuka with a skillet, a hammer, a spike, a crutch. He has a rope at one point, but like Chad said, really nothing actually happens in this match.
No. I mean, does anything ever happen during a Kevin Sullivan match? And is Jimmy Snuka alive? They need to have, like, the referee has to wear, like, the little telescope around his, like, neck and stuff like that to keep, instead of counting for three, he's counting for 3 heartbeats.
He's got a mirror.
Yeah, to check his breath.
It's
Well, it's either for that or for Snuka to do coke in between false finishes.
Woo!
Yeah.
ECW.
TCB.
Brother.
TCB.
TCB. I thought it was a nice angle, though. I liked the angle.
During this debacle, woman leaves with Sandman. She leaves Sullivan's side to go with Sandman. Hunter Q trips Kevin Sullivan, and Snuka gets the victory because Sullivan is distracted, of course, by woman leaving, and Snuka goes over Kevin Sullivan here, and I think this is it for Sully, and not Jay Sully.
I also think it's the end of Hunter Q. I don't think.
Yes, because he gets pantsed and
yeah.
And Snuka kind of leaves him high and dry, like, ooh.
You talking about the end of Sullivan?
I don't think he's around after this in ECW. I don't believe. I could be wrong.
He might not be. I know he was still around, but maybe he wasn't there on camera, like as an ECW performer. But I know he was still around because he would still be at the hotels.
Okay.
You know, maybe he was working for WCW and hadn't really quote unquote started yet.
He was probably around because Nancy was still around, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I can see that either way, right? Yeah, but you know what I mean? He may have been gone, but he wasn't gone.
Right. Yeah. Well, he if he is gone, he definitely went out with a doozy on this one. And like I said, he strips Hunter Q of his pantalones in the middle of the ring here, and then pretty much proceeds to kick him in the nuts and give him the stomp. And this may be Hunter Q's departure from ECW.
Well,
finally.
We've been saying this for months, or at least we've been saying this for weeks.
We've been saying this for 9 months, I think.
I think it's the gestation period of a fucking elephant. We've been saying. Hunter Q's gone. I think this is finally it.
Let's hope for the best.
When everybody saw his teeny dang, he was like, I'm out.
Somebody said, "Hey, Hunter, the Super Destroyers are outside waiting for you. They've had the car running since March."
Yeah. That Geo tracker ain't gonna fill itself.
You got to get in there. And by the way, on the way home, we got to drop Sal off. What's the matter, you?
Well, the next deal is the caning match, Sandman and Woman against Tommy Cairo and Peaches. And when I saw Tommy Cairo and Peaches enter the ring in their hard hats, I thought of my brother. And I thought, oh boy, my brother is going to have some good material here.
I just put it's Sandman and Woman versus Gypsy Tommy Cairo and fucking Peaches.
That's all you got, really? all that material, and that's all you came up with? All that opus that you could paint your canvas on?
I mean, they're wearing fucking goddamn brown suspenders,
pajamas,
and hard hats, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
This is like. I believe that Tommy Cairo is a gypsy handyman. Okay,
He's a gypsy handicap?
handyman.
What did you? Oh,
I don't think he's
handyman.
handy. I believe that Tommy Cairo could probably fix your electricity
Or your wheelchair.
or your wheelchair.
Yes.
But just because Peaches touched his wang doesn't mean that she should be dressing that way. She doesn't know fucking shit from shit. Like, Peaches and Tommy Cairo is one of the worst.
Go ahead, say it. Go ahead. I got your back. Go ahead.
It's one of the worst combos ever.
Yes,
Like, how are you supposed to feel compassion for these people? Like,
Yeah.
I understand where they're trying to go, but Tommy Cairo and Peaches are actually the heels. I've been trying to say this the whole time.
Yeah, he's a home wrecker and she's a cheater.
She's a cheater. She cheated with Tommy Cairo, and now Tommy Cairo is living in the Sandman's house, watching his cable, banging his wife, drinking his beer, using his quote unquote gym, like the Sandman has one of those. Like, when they get beat up at the end of this, I'm like, they fucking deserved it. Like, when Sandman started kicking the shit out of him, I was like, yeah, get him, Tommy Cairo.
Yep, I agree.
This situation are pieces of shit.
Yep, I'm 100% behind you, man. I mean, and Sandman's all running around in his pajamas, acting a fool, beating the tar off of poor Tommy Cairo, man.
Sandman just wants to use his recliner. That's all he wants to do.
He just wants his recliner back.
He just wants to sit in his recliner and watch MeTV and fucking relax. But Tommy Cairo's ass is sitting in there not fucking paying the rent. Fuck him.
Yeah, I mean, losing and hanging out with Sal Palomo is not paying the bills. he's got and Peaches, I'm sure, taking care of her is not cheap either. If I was Sandman, I'd be like, good, you're gonna have.
I'm with woman now.
Yeah. I upgraded big time.
Hey man, like
big time.
he went from like the fucking basement to the goddamn penthouse. So good for you, Sandman.
Yeah,
Good for you. A couple of years he gets with Missy, so good for him.
Oof. Yeah. Good for him and his insurance company. That's a lot of shots.
Well, the match starts out here pretty much with a cat fight right off the bat. Peaches and Woman. And what do we think of the match overall?
Well, did you guys see the signs? Or a couple signs?
I think I missed them.
One of the signs was Sandman whack that fudge off Peaches. Sorry, not fudge. Sandman whack that fuzz off Peaches.
Fudge. Fudge was funnier, actually.
Yeah, fudge.
And then there was another sign that said Kane Joey Styles, and Joey was like, "Oh, god damn it! I know Paul put that sign out there."
I totally missed that.
Yeah, whack that fuzz.
Yeah,
up.
and I've been looking for signs recently because of what's been going on with current wrestling. I've been paying more and more attention to the signs. No, I didn't catch that one either.
Yeah, the whack that fuzz off Peaches and Kane Joey Styles.
I mean, I just thought all that was just way too long.
Mm-hmm. That's actually what I have down here. The match isn't bad, but it was too long. You're right. I have that written down too.
And it was all that just for basically a cat fight. I mean, at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
it was just like, how much time can we kill just so we can throw a goddamn cat fight? You know?
Yeah.
That will pop the people.
The Peaches winds up pinning Sandman in this match. So,
because I think Tommy Cairo DDT'd him.
Well, yeah, it didn't
No
catch
camera shot of any of it.
No,
Like
No,
they don't
'cause
even show you the actual finish of the match. They're just showing you the cat fight, which is
Mhm.
fine because Woman's in the shot. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But they don't show you the actual wrestling finish of the match. I rewound it a little bit, and I like off in the corner. I think Tommy hit a DDT on Sandman, and that was the end of it.
So let me ask you: Do you think there really was a finish, and that was Paul's way of editing out to make the story play out, or do you think that that's the way it's supposed to go?
I think they just screwed up and missed the shot.
I just think they missed. I just think it was a bad.
So
thing.
there was a finish.
Yeah, I think it was
All
just a bad camera angle.
Well, shocker, but I agree, and I can go either way with it because Paul made the most out of the least, so It could, but I mean, yeah, but I totally agree that when he realized they didn't catch that shot, that he realized he had to change the whole entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or they had a shot of it and the fucking DDT looked like shit, and he just said, "Let's just go with the broads wrestling."
That looks way better, pal.
Yeah, it's just some ass in that.
Well,
let's just throw the Harris brothers out there.
They're coming.
Ass.
How can this get any worse? Somebody's yelling, how can this get any worse? Where's the Harris brothers?
The angle after this deal, the caning, woman with the powder shot. Sandman winds up getting to cane Tommy Cairo.
Well, are you going to gloss over the fact that they whipped Sandman's ass out in front of all those people, and they were like, no. No.
Put it back.
Like, that's the first time I've ever seen an ECW crowd be like, no.
An ass shot got booed. Like they were just like, oh, come on, man.
Of all the people in the ring, we're going to see his.
I mean, even the people went crazy when Mae Young had her puppies pulled out, but that was for a different reason.
When Hack's ass came out, that ECW crowd was like, no.
And they said it like that. It was in slow motion.
No. Yeah, no. The Sandman winds up caning Tommy Cairo, like I said, after woman throws the powder, and Sandman lights up a smoke, I think for the first time in the arena.
Threw it, or it didn't like blow out of his ass?
Damn.
Mr. Sandman. That's funny. Oh, shit. I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Maxson. I lost my train of thought.
Like when you like go to attack like an octopus and it like just shoots you with like ink or whatever.
It's a self-defense mechanism.
Like if you attack James Fullington and pull his pants down, fucking powder shoots out his ass.
Hey, daddy. And then it smells like cheap beer.
And Pall Malls, yeah.
Yeah. Non-filtered.
Non-filtered Durrells.
Oh, man. Oof.
He's out there smoking cigarettes like he's on the Mary Tyler Moore show.
He's like Murray.
he's got his cigarettes rolled up into his sleeve and on his shirt. And
all right,
it's literally taking a while, but you can totally see that there's something there when it comes to Hack, right?
Yeah.
The people are seeing something that, I mean, take me out of the equation because I don't like the guy. I don't have a personal feeling about him whatsoever. But yeah, professionally, the people in Philadelphia are really starting to see something there that the majority are slowly becoming enamored with, right?
Yeah. It's kind of a, what do you want to say, an everyman character.
I like saying, and I know I was making fun of like smoke coming out of his ass or whatever, but I actually like Sandman. I'm a fan of the guy. I don't know him personally, obviously, but his character and everything like that, like I enjoy it. And this is the like groundswell of it or whatever, where you can see, like we were talking about, like where he was in the wetsuit and all that shit. And then the
good Sandman, you mean?
Yeah, you're seeing the evolution of it, and that's what I'm looking forward to as we go through. Like this is a character, it's kind of like Tommy, where it's a character that is quintessential ECW, that you're going to see it at its infancy and where it goes. And like he hasn't beer yet. Like I'm looking forward to him cracking that fucking beer, and then it's like, oh, that's when you're off to the races. You know what I mean?
There is that word that they use. I think AEW uses it. Pillars. The pillars. And wouldn't you say Sandman's one of the pillars of ECW?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sandman is holding one part of the building up. That building's in pretty bad shape.
Worse than the Sportatorium?
I can't. Well, I mean, there's at least 4 or 5 Von Erichs that are gonna hold the building up. I'm thinking Sandman, Dreamer. At this point, Sandman, Dreamer. We haven't got Raven yet,
right?
So Yeah, that building's pretty much halfway built. Who else?
Well, not to get too ahead of it because we got a couple years to go, but I'd say like the pillars of ECW to me would be Sandman, Tommy, Sabu, and Raven.
Probably. I would agree for the most part. I mean, I really can't off the top of my head think of anybody. Maybe Mike to an extent, but yeah, basically they're the four guys.
Would either one of you throw RVD in there?
No.
I think it was
not because I don't like him or respect him or appreciate or any of that. He wasn't there long enough.
Yeah, that house was already built before he got there, in my opinion.
He just moved in.
Yeah.
Since moved in and smoked all the weed.
Yeah, him and the Street Profits and MSK. Why don't they just start one big fucking interpromotional pot company?
The Riddle World Order.
Yeah. Riddle, MSK, all them people. Just throw them all in the same little group there. And how about one of them just get sick so they can get a medical marijuana license, so they don't have to have the problem where they got to go, find weed from a shaman, please.
Well, the next segment here on this show is 911 coming out and choke slamming. What is it? Joey Main? Was that his name? They called him.
I didn't know they called him a name.
Yeah, they gave him a name. This referee, but he gets choke slammed. Huh?
It's John Pee Wee Moore.
That was Pee Wee?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that was Pee Wee.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I know Pee Wee. Pee Wee comes up with Sabu. Like Sabu has a big like RV, and Sabu sometimes Fozzie towards later on. But yeah, Pee Wee he would come up because he would drive it.
He's got to be the DD, huh?
Yeah, he's
the greatest thing in the world. Thinking of Pee Wee Moore just driving up a fucking RV with Sabu in it.
Oh yeah, it's got to be a fun time right there.
Door opens and smoke just comes rolling out of the fucking thing.
A plume of smoke. It's just like he comes out.
And Sabu's yelling like, "Hey driver, we got to stop off at the 7-Eleven to get some rolling papers." And then they pull in and then they open the big front door and smoke pours out and Sabu walks out and does the whole point to the sky with no shirt on and his headgear on.
With the music blaring through the stereo system.
Yeah. That's an exciting life the wrestlers have to lead. That everywhere they go, there's songs playing. They walk into the grocery store, you know what I mean? Just, here he is. I would just hope I have a great, cool entrance song like Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers.
Yeah. Every time Taz walks into Publix, survive if I let
you. That little short ass bastard walking into a buffet. he's looking at the people and people are like, "Oh, we can take him. We can handle this short little fucking survive if I let you." And he runs right over there and starts beating up the mashed potatoes. He starts elbowing the roast beef.
I'm gonna eat off the kids' menu.
Yeah. Can I get an orange soda and a small fry and a frankfurter?
Dinosaur nugget. Right,
he doesn't call them hot dogs. He calls them frankfurters.
And I want the bun toasted.
Yeah,
some dinosaur nuggets.
And these better be Chef Boyardee.
Speaking of Taz, he's in the next match on this show. It is Taz versus the Pitbull. Of course, Jason in the Pitbull's corner. Aaron, what say you on this matchup?
It went way too long.
Mm-hmm.
Way too long for a supposed grudge match. Like they had too many wrestles in the middle of it, and I thought the feud itself leading into it was good, and I somewhat enjoyed it, but the match itself was kind of a letdown.
Yeah, wasn't that like 40? Didn't it only go on 45 minutes?
It felt like it.
I mean, for real. Didn't it seem like it was like? Do you think that was edited down from like 45 minutes?
Yeah, and it's like, why, if it's this like grudge match between these two supposed animals are they doing like fucking chin locks and leg locks and all this shit. It felt like it was just way too long and had way too much stalling in it.
Like the commentary was setting another agenda than the match was, right?
Yeah, and
like the match was just taking place, but then Paul figured out a way to redirect the commentary to get what he wanted out of it. Is that what you're saying, kind of?
Yeah, and like I said, if it's a grudge match, why is fucking Gary Wolf grabbing a rear chin lock, and why is he doing fucking leg locks and Taz doing his shit? It just seemed much longer than what it needed to be.
Yeah, I actually have in my notes too much wrestling. The beginning was promising. Yeah, the beginning was promising. They started out, outside the ring and brawling, but I totally agree. Way too much wrestling here.
And the thing is, like, the wrestling wasn't bad.
No.
You know what I mean, like, they didn't do anything that looked like shit in the ring, but for the match that it was supposed to be, it didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I agree totally. Nothing left me wanting more, right?
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't want to watch these guys wrestle again. That's cool.
Come on. What do you mean it's over? Ring the bell.
Well, the pit bull goes over here with a chain shot to the head on Taz after a distraction from Jason.
Jason's distraction was getting dumped on his fucking head.
Oh, did it knock any sense into him?
No.
Yeah.
How do you like my bump on the head?
How do you like my dump on the head?
All right. Mr. Austin earlier brought up the Bruise Brothers, and they are in the next match here on When Worlds Collide. It is the ECW champion Shane Douglas, Mr. Hughes, and the Public Enemy against JT Smith and the Bruise Brothers in an elimination match. Now, this was supposed to have Road Warrior Hawk in it. They say he's injured. I say he just told him, I'm not coming.
I say he started with WCW. Like that.
Yeah, I say he didn't even kill him. I say he
did. He did. I mean, personally, I believe that I was at a show that Paulie addressed the locker room about Hawk not being there, and it was because he was booked on another show. And I don't remember. Like, see, this is what boggles my mind. Is that I don't remember if Paul guaranteed that Hawk was going to be at the Philadelphia show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was one of them weekends where it was like a show on Friday, a show on Saturday, and then like the ECW show was like on Sunday afternoon or whatever, or Saturday night or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, there was no Road Warrior Hawk. And we're like, well, the main event's not here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then Paul had to address it by saying that Hawk was going to be at the arena or whatever, but he probably knew damn well that he wasn't.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, if I had to put money on it, that's where I'd put my money. Is that he told Paul that he wasn't making it, because I don't think Hawk had developed that kind of reputation at that point. Had he not, Nate? Am I missing something? He wasn't known for being a no-show at that point, because in that stage of his career, wasn't the independence all that he had? Yeah,
well, I was going to say, he made a lot more shots when ECW was a lot crappier than this. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, he's not a guy that's just like, fuck off. So, yeah, like you said, he probably found some bigger money somewhere else, maybe WCW. I can't remember that. I'd have to look at the timeline and see if that lines up. But
Japan.
Yeah,
I mean, you would think somebody of that caliber of a talent would have some sort of a calendar in front of them to let you know that before I take a booking in Philadelphia, I'm going to be in Nagasaki.
Right? Is he still teaming with Sasaki at this point?
Well, this is 94, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is kind of like. I mean, I'm not sure like what month, but yeah, we're definitely in the same year.
This match, though, once again, it's kind of a theme as we're going through the show. I understand the story they were trying to tell with JT, whether good or bad. I understand the story they were trying to tell. They were trying to tell the underdog story here. I get it, But did you guys also think that this thing just went on way too fucking long?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Not a whole lot more to elaborate on that, other than the fact that it went on way too long.
And they did a.
I mean, I agree with Aaron's answer as well. Is
They
he
did
there?
I'm here. They did a count out. Mr. Hughes and Shane and the Bruise Brothers or whatever it counted out. It's like CCW. How is there a count out?
Yeah.
It was convoluted and it went way too long.
The gist of the story.
They never really had count outs. The match just went away.
Yeah. everybody.
I mean, it just went away. I can see it because I used to be a mark for like the old 70s magazines when they would have like the results from other like house shows and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it would say like Jose Estrada wrestled Rick McGraw to a 20-minute draw or whatever. I could see this just saying whatever these two ham bones, and the finish was it just went away.
Yeah, most of the match.
And I'd be reading it as
most of the match just disappeared. Yeah.
Yes, and I'd be like a fan watching it going, "Wow, it just went away. That's a hell of a finish."
And the gist of the match, folks, is that the heels, I guess you'd call them, are working over the knee of JT Smith. Mr. Hughes gives it like a splash. He splashes his knee. Public Enemy's working over the knee. And then, again, saying this goes on too long, eventually, JT Smith gets the upset win over both Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock and become the sole survivor of this elimination match. That's the
I see what you did there. He's the sole survivor.
Sole survivor.
I didn't even mean to do that.
That was the whip.
All right, yeah, he didn't win some free studio time in a rap studio.
I made a joke,
he didn't get rims.
When you work a podcast with Chad Austin and Aaron Maxson, you can make a joke and not even know you made it.
Good for him.
Yes, I mean, if I'm going to be a racist, I'm going to do it right. I'm not going to be half racist,
not accidentally like I did.
Yeah, I mean, here you are. You're trying to take subtle jab.
Any comments?
Yeah.
Before we go into the main event?
Me and Aaron over here, at least we wear our hearts on our sleeve. You're over there being all subtle, taking little jabs, all on your high horse.
Hold on, let me.
You think you're all mightier than.
And now, everybody, we move into the main event of When Worlds Collide. The match we all came to see, and it did not disappoint, in my opinion. Sabu and beautiful Bobby Eaton against Terry Funk and Arn Anderson.
It did not disappoint. But what was that fucking music that the WWE used for Terry Funk and Arn Anderson coming out?
Would Terry have been coming out to Desperado at this point?
No.
Yes.
No? Yes?
Was
yes.
he?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
I didn't think he used that until fucking Barely Legal.
You know what? Honestly, he probably didn't come out to anything because I do think if we go back and watch some of the older tapes, older shows, that you could probably hear where the audio was dubbed in, like post-production, because Funk may have not came out to anything.
Possibly. But this is, I think, Aaron, this is WWE Network or Peacock or whatever the fuck. This is their version of Desperado.
I think you can make Desperado worse.
Arn Anderson and Terry Funk come out to here.
Doozy Rado.
Doozy Rado.
Why don't you come to your senses?
Yeah. Call Archie Mitchell.
No fences for too long now.
All right, I know we're trying to make time here and all. Come on. We don't need a karaoke. I mean, what am I? You want me to? Sweet Caroline.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, the match itself, Aaron, Chad, what did we think? Of course, like I said, I really dug it. I actually have a lot of notes on the match. Like I was trying to be fucking Wade Keller and do a play-by-play or whatever. But
I got more spots wrote down than I do notes.
Okay.
I really would have loved to have been there, man. again, that's just one of them shows where I was booked doing something else, and I couldn't have been there. But after watching it now, on the cock, and then and seeing it with how great I thought it was, I was just thinking, man, I really wish I could have been there. I would have loved to have been there. It's one of them, you don't know what you missed till it was gone kind of thing,
Right.
I mean, if somebody would have told me whatever show I was working, I was probably working with fucking Bundy or something, Nikolai or somebody like that. If you would have told me, hey, you got a chance to go either watch this or work 5 seconds with Bundy, I'll pass up. But it was probably because I was doing a 3-day weekend or a 2-day weekend of somewhere, and ECW just wasn't paying any more than the other people were. So, but yeah, I wish I really could have been there because I would have loved to have seen Arn in the arena, man, and Bobby.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's later in my notes, but that's something I put in my notes. Is I like Bobby Eaton? Okay, I love Bobby Eaton. But he was kind of like in the ECW arena, kind of like a sore thumb or whatever. Like, he didn't look like he really worked. But I would have loved to see more Arn Anderson in ECW.
I actually have it. Yeah, I have in my notes here. I think it's so cool to watch Arn Anderson work Sabu.
Yeah, like I think I know we're gonna get to Shane working with Tully, but I would have much rather it be fucking Arn Anderson and Shane Douglas. You know what I mean? Like Arn to me, I didn't think about it as a kid watching it, but watching it now, I'm like, man, fucking Arn, if he would have not been signed with WCW and just been like, okay, I'm just gonna go work fucking Philly and work in ECW, I think that dude would have been great there forever, in my opinion.
Yeah, how great would that relationship have been? Because what do they say? Paulie always says that he got Bobby and Arn off of the lawsuit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's but he got them for 1 or 2 shows each.
Yeah, 2. I think 2. Well,
what were you suing for? Oreos? I mean, you got 2 of the best workers. I mean, best all around workers in the business. I'm not going to say names because they weren't, in my opinion, they weren't Hogan or Flair. You know what I mean?
Right.
But well respected enough that people would pay money to see him,
especially with Philadelphia fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Arn, if he wouldn't have had that WCW contract and would have been able to just stick around in ECW, I think that would have had fucking legs. I think Arn.
Why couldn't they have worked together? I mean, is it all about dick size with these fucking people? Why couldn't they just work together? You would think they would all benefit from it because you understand why WWE wouldn't want to work with ECW because they gotta brainwash their people.
Yeah, well, and ironically, who wound up working with them the most?
Yeah, right. And then look where it put ECW. Behind the A-ball. And then eventually out of business.
On the Peacock. That's where it put ECW.
Yep.
But Aaron, you said you had 4 spots here that...
Well, no, I mean, I had some spots, but there's also... Joey Styles talks about how Arn held the NWA Tag Team Championships with Tully Blanchard and Bobby Eaton. And Bobby Eaton held them with Stan Lane, and then he goes, Stan Lane, who knows what he does now or where he's at, but he probably shouldn't be doing it.
What?
He just buries Stan
said
Lane.
that?
Yeah, he just buries Stan Lane for no reason. It's why are you attacking Stan Lane? He didn't do anything to anybody.
Well, maybe his sister is one of Stan-Beat's deadbeat baby mamas. maybe Joey Styles is holding the grudge against Stan Lane because he got Joey Styles' sister pregnant, and he's not taking care of the kid.
Can't believe you knocked up my sister Joni Styles.
She looks like China with a mustache.
With a mustache.
She looks like Burt Reynolds. Could you just see that? Joey Styles with his little glasses and his clean cut look, and you go to his house and knock on the door, and China with a mustache that looks like Burt Reynolds opens the door.
but still with the Joey Styles glasses on.
Yeah, yeah. They all got poor vision.
She opens the door, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yep, that's where it came from.
What the fuck do you want? Smoking a stogie.
That's where oh my God came from.
Joni Styles. But there's a spot that Arn takes that's actually pretty impressive. He's up on the top rope, and Sabu drop kicks him, and he bumps off the top all the way to the ground. I thought that looked good. Like I said, I think Arn honestly is the show stealer in this entire match. I know Bobby's in it, Bobby Eaton's in it, and Terry Funk's in it, and Sabu's in it, and everything. But I just think Arn just killed it in this match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is everybody still there?
Yeah, we're still. I'm still trying to figure out what you think Arn is.
I just think Arn, like in this entire match, I just think Arn did the best job out of everybody in it.
Well, Arn's a gem nonetheless. I mean, I don't know what to say. He knew he's not there permanently, right?
Yeah.
And he still worked hard, didn't he? I mean,
yeah,
you don't think he mailed it in, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think anybody in this match mailed it in, but I'm just saying, I think Arn in the body of the match, I think he was the most entertaining thing in it. Everybody did a fantastic job, but just in my opinion, he was the best out of everybody. Terry Funk.
I was going to say, I loved watching Terry in this match. Little things, like there was that part where he got himself caught up in the ropes on purpose. And Terry does little things that, like Terry will be like, oh, there's a piece of the table. You know, I'm just going to pile drive this guy on a piece of the table. I'm not going to make it big. I'm not going to make it dramatic. I'm just going to use what's around me. And he's so good at that. I wasn't trying to cut you off, Aaron. You said his name, and I was just like, he was so good here, as always.
And he did a power bomb. And I wrote in my notes, I've never seen Terry Funk do a power bomb before. I don't think I've ever seen him do a power bomb after. Like, he does a fucking power bomb in this match. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'm trying to roll decks through my mind. The last time I seen a Terry Funk power bomb. I mean, I'm sure he may have did one in FMW or Wing, maybe.
Maybe like in one of those exploding matches, but I don't remember ever seeing it.
No, he wasn't Juice and Thunder Funk. I'll tell you that.
Juice and Thunder Funk.
No, that wasn't him.
And that moonsault he did fucking bounced. He missed it, but he fucking bounced. It was good shit. Like,
well, I looked back at my notes, and I said something. I think earlier when I said Funk got caught up in the ropes, got himself caught up. He didn't get himself caught up in the ropes. He got himself caught up in the ring apron. Yes, just those little touches that he does.
That's killing time, man. Mm-hmm. That's killing time
in the best possible way.
I love that kind. I love that kind of shit. That when you can go outside the ring, and he does that stuff where he just swings all wild. You know, like he's going to attack a fan and don't know what he's doing and all that kind of stuff. He's just killing time because what he's probably doing is he's probably feeling the crowd and thinking about what he wants to do next. Mm-hmm. Because it's not like you're not working Rey Mysterio Funk over here where you got to go over every single spot. That way you're not going to mess up any. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
where you're going to mess up any of Ray's stuff or anything like that. So it's not like because that stuff is very precise and it has to be exact, and it takes a lot of timing and precision to execute it right. But Funk is just like just in there, and then he'll find you. I mean, sure, you got to look stupid for a while and pretend like you're still selling from an elbow. You know what I mean? You gotta be all wobbly kneed, and then even though you're up and you realize this is like 6 minutes already. Like where'd he go?
A question that I had written down,
and then when you get that one little opportunity where you can look out of the corner of your eye and you look to see where Terry is, and you realize you hear the crowd roaring over the other side of the building. You're like, how do you get over there? Like, what's he doing?
A question I had written down to ask you, Chad, is I think I know that I know Sabu, obviously his uncle was the fucking Sheik, and he's been wrestling for a few years at this point, and he's done, he's already toured Japan and et cetera, et cetera. Do you think Sabu appreciated and recognized the insane learning tree he wrestled in during this evening?
I think almost to a detriment, because at some point in that point of Sabu's career, I don't know if Sabu wants to hear it, wants to admit it, or wants to talk about it, but there was a time around this part of his career where he was hard to deal with. And I only speak about that because I was close to several promoters that tried to book him, that eventually did, or some of them didn't book him, but he came with, he had a high price tag. I mean, and of course he wasn't doing a job. That wasn't even going to be, it wasn't even being like, hey, Sabu, we have this local kid here. You know what I mean?
Right.
That wasn't even going to be in the discussion. But
All right. So, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, Sabu was, we're getting into where Sabu is really somebody, in the grand scheme of things in the business.
The finish of this matchup, Aaron, did you have anything else? I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's just like, it's kind of building on what you were saying. Like, Chad, do you think like Sabu in this would have been the guy sitting in the corner listening to Terry Funk and Arn and saying, okay, I'll do that. Or do you think he was saying, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that? Or do you think he was respectful enough to just let those guys lead whatever they're going to do?
Yeah, a little bit of both. It was going to be Sabu saying, all right, what do you have planned? Because this is what I have to get in. Not that you have to say Sabu has to get all his shit in, because getting all his shit in is completely, just entirely, utterly too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know what say. Like if I would have wrestled in the last few years, if I wrestled and I had a working young kid, I would ask the guy like, all right, give me 3 things that you can do. I asked him, give me 3 things that you can do well, and he'll tell me. I go, okay, well, we'll figure out a way to put that in the match, and I'm sure Arn's like, all right, Sabu, tell me 3 things that you want to do. Like, he's not going to just lay there for table after table and chair.
Sabu was like, oh man, Arn, I'll put you on the table and then I'll jump off and fucking put my chair into your face and drive you through it. Arn's probably gonna be like, no.
Hey, Arn, I'm just gonna wildly throw a chair at your skull. Is that okay? No.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, there's ways around working with everybody, because I never liked that. That's one of the reasons why I never really ever really wanted to go to the WWE, because it was too overproduced.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to work with somebody who I knew didn't want to do anything.
Right.
Because, they didn't have to. Or they had a character. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the character didn't require them. Oh, I get it. Your gimmick doesn't require you to sell for me. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. You're not going to sell for me because it's your gimmick.
It's your gimmick, bro.
Yeah, well, how about my gimmick is I'm God. That's my gimmick.
Didn't he team with Shawn Michaels in 2006, that guy?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see how many people want to work with me when I tell them my name is AIDS. Yeah. You don't want to put me over? Well, I'm going over, kid.
Here come the legions.
Yeah.
The Legions of Doom.
The legions of
legions,
doom.
all right.
Jesus Christ.
That comes along with AIDS.
Nobody gets over the Legions of Doom. They don't job for nobody.
The legions. The open sores of doom. The cuts, scrapes, scratches, and bruises and abscesses.
Of doom.
Of doom. That's right.
The Public Enemy comes out and attacks Terry Funk.
The Legions of Doom.
The Public Enemy comes out and attacks Terry Funk here during this match, and this is obviously spawned from what we saw last week with Paulie Dangerously going and asking them to do something terrible to Terry Funk. The problem is it's not effective because it doesn't cause the fall. Does that make sense, Aaron?
Yeah, but it's also like I've never seen anybody blade their knee before in wrestling.
He said blade their knee?
Yeah. Like Terry Funk, like they come out and attack him, and like Terry's bleeding from his knee because the Public Enemy attacked him. So he like gigged his knee in the match. And it's like I've never seen anybody do that. Like usually if they're just selling the knee, they're like, "Oh, my knee, it's all fucked up." But Terry made sure that he was fucking bleeding from his knee off of the attack.
Is Terry getting credit for the first person to bleed or blade himself everywhere?
Yeah.
Behind the ear, His
elbow.
Knee. Elbow, knee, breast, chest, neck, and head.
But see,
what is he doing over there? Is he sitting down there at the Double Cross Ranch with a blade? He's slashing a toe to see if it gets good color.
I'm gonna blade my collarbone tonight.
And I could just see him doing it in front of Dory. And Dory's kind of standing there looking at him, and he's like, "Junior, I'm going to get color from here." And Junior's just staring at him
and he
has no idea what's going on.
And Dory's like, "I don't know, Terry, that might work, it might not work."
He's got absolutely no idea what's going on.
I'm just over here. Like Dory's just over there.
Aren't we building towards Dory coming in?
Yep, that's the next show, or the next big show.
Yeah, Dory's just.
So what you're saying is you got plenty of time to wake him up.
Dory Funk's just over there trying to buy
to get him ready for the next show.
Goddamn Patty, who's that fucking Peanuts character that I was thinking about? Peppermint
Patty.
Yeah, Peppermint Patty. This fucking Dory looks like fucking Charlie Brown.
Oh no!
The finish comes in this match.
Just trying to kick the football, and fucking Lucy just keeps pulling it. But no, Nate, what you were saying, where you were talking about how Public Enemy going and attacking the knee didn't make any sense in the finish. It actually does.
Okay.
Because they attack his knee, and Sabu keeps trying to get him into the Funk spinning toe hold, and he keeps reversing it. And then eventually, Arn comes down there, gets hit by the chair by mistake by Terry, and Arn takes offense to that and then attacks his knee again. And then Funk ends up submitting because I think it's Sabu gets him in the single crab. And Terry can't stand the knee pain anymore and ends up submitting. So it all fucking actually makes sense at the end of it.
Well, when you put it that way in a 4-minute explanation.
Fair enough.
It's all right there. We should have seen it.
It's actually a great finish.
And that
I have to go back and watch it.
That is, in a nutshell, or a big fucking nutshell, the When Worlds Collide show here on Reliving the Extreme, our review of the show. Overall, Chad, what did you think of this show, beginning to end, overall?
What, this show or the show we were watching?
The show we were watching. This show's great, of course.
Yeah, I mean, this show, we somehow mustered up a halfway decent episode. But, yeah, I thought it was a good show. I mean, I'm not going to say it was great. It had its moments. I would say it was, you know what, I'm not even going to say good. I'm going to say solid.
I think so, too. And my only complaint, really, to be honest, is there were a couple of matches that they spent 5 to 6 minutes too long getting to the point. But other than that, Rebel and the elimination match and the Taz match, they all served their purpose and they were fine, but they just spent too long getting to the point, I guess. And you know what? Maybe when you were there in the ECW arena in the moment, it didn't feel that way. To be fair.
I can totally agree with that, man. If you were there because a show, if you were at the ECW arena, a show that's supposed to be 2 hours was going to be 4.5 hours. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Aaron, what did you think overall?
I thought that this, like, I watched this when I was younger, and I thought it was fantastic. But the older I got, like, I think it's still a really good show, but it wasn't as good as I remember. Like, when I watched it initially, when I was younger, I wasn't reviewing it. You know what I mean? I was just
good point.
I wasn't watching it as a fan. I wasn't like, okay, Nate and Chad and I are going to sit down and nitpick this thing and find what we think is funny or find what we don't like. I'm just going to watch it. And it's kind of like
case in point, Aaron. Remember when they used to show the ads for the home video?
Yeah.
Didn't you want to buy that?
Yeah.
And then when you got it, you were like, how much did I pay for this?
Yeah. It's like, this thing's kind of dragging out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like you watch the commercial and you're like, fucking Bobby Eaton, Arn Anderson. And then you buy the tape and you're just going, oh, it's Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson.
Yeah. It's kind of dragging a little bit, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, not nitpicking it, just sitting there and watching it. You're like, yeah, this is a pretty good show. But when you start to analyze it, you start seeing the good and the bad with it. And there was a lot more good than there was bad, but I just think it was solid, but it wasn't as good as I remembered as a kid.
Yep, you ain't lying, buddy.
Like, I ain't mad at it, but
you ain't mad at it?
I ain't mad at it, but I ain't taking it home.
It already happened. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. It happened 30 years ago. Jesus. You know, I'm not mad at Hitler, you know, for Pearl Harbor. I'm not mad at you. Whatever. Whatever.
Didn't even know you.
Don't talk to Nate about Hitler. Don't talk to Nate about
I don't know what was going on behind the scenes.
Don't talk to Nate about anything about Hitler or anything like that. He'll drop you.
Yeah.
Shut up, you face.
The greatest heel ever. Him and the devil are the greatest heels ever.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Reliving the Extreme review of When Worlds Collide. I'd like to ask this, Aaron, any parting words for our listeners and viewers this week?
Not much. Just if, like I said before, dial 445-278-1256. And if you need your snake drain, or if you need your drain snaked, or your
what?
Yeah,
if you need your snake drained, that's Peaches.
What kind of business are you running over there, Sonny?
Listen. 445.
We were trying to listen.
445-226-1567. If you need your drain snaked, or you need your gutters. If you need your gutters with the leaves because it's fall time now and all that shit, or you need your heating worked on.
We got a sponsor?
That's Gypsy. It's Gypsy Cairo. He'll help you out.
What? Gypsy what?
Gypsy Cairo.
Is this the truth?
It's Gypsy Handyman.
Gypsy Handyman Tommy Cairo. He'll help you out.
Oh, okay. All right. It's a work. I got you. I'm thinking like you got a sponsor and I'm just stepping all over it. Like Aaron's got a buddy of his that has a roofing company that wants to come out and clean out your gutters.
Yeah, it's Tommy Cairo.
Here I am making fun of him. But it's Tommy Cairo's side job.
And sometimes he'll work for Peaches.
Oh, good Lord. And then, you know what? I heard he's moving to the country, too.
Gonna eat a lot of peaches.
Yeah, I heard that.
Chad, any
fan?
Chad, any parting words for our listeners this week?
I don't know. I'm not even sure I want to be a part of this anymore. This whole debacle.
Thanks a lot, Aaron.
You're sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna try to promote
twice.
something, but I don't know. Aaron just ruined it for me. Check out Chad's Video Vault. Take care, brush your hair, throw some napkins in the air.
That's it. I'm done. Reliving the Extreme. We'll see you next week, everybody. That's fantastic. Reliving the Extreme is a production of Maxson Media, all rights reserved.